unhappy with our progress?
They're unhappy with over a period of years, not just now going backwards. They're very frustrated by what they felt was a lack of progress toward the goal set forth in the education. And they've come to a point of being, they don't want to waste the time, the official is not going to waste the time any of their council members coming here. Although I understand that they have since then considered a candidate that they may nominate, but I don't know what's happened with that.
I'm just going to point out that we're considering hearsay statements, secondhand statements.
We're not in a court of law. Relax. Calm down. I know you're going to be a lawyer soon. Calm down.
But my point is that I'm actually perfectly calm, Mr. Kelly. But my point that I was trying to make was that I thought that the city of San Pablo had appointed somebody in their last meeting. Was I mistaken
We
about that?
had, Mr. Paul Morris was part of the committee a year and a half ago, and he was unable to attend on a regular basis, and so he was absent a number of times according to our bylaws, and he was taken off the committee. I spoke with the mayor of San Pablo and asked her at the time if she could recommend someone, and she said they were having difficulty identifying someone to take his place. Okay, so
that concludes my report for 7 on the 8th.
8, review status requests from committee to staff, Dr. Harder.
Yes, we were attempting to respond to the questions that Ben Steinberg had submitted, and we've provided those questions. What I'd like to do is to give another shot at coming back and making this a more holistic response. The level of detail and the individual responses doesn't lend itself well to really understanding what the issues are. I think it's an important issue for us as to why we change our practices about how we approach construction. I think that's at the very heart of it, what this question was about. And attempting to answer the questions literally, we haven't done a very good job of that. So we'll bring this back to the next meeting with a better answer and something that will be much more understandable for the committee and for the public.
Thank you, because I did see that she, first of all, if you kindly correct, my last name is spelled with 2 C's, but I have never received a response. It states on here there's a response date of September 19th. I have not received any response whatever. None of these items have ever been sent back to me with a response. So I'd like to say that I never received a response, and this particular list of responses is inadequate.
I agree, and we'll bring it back. Apologies.
The other part of the question that I asked with regard to the same request, subsequently I said a request for information on a list of change orders that were coded 3, and I have had 8 examples of that, but I have not received that as well.
Ms. Rico, I just want to make sure I understand that. I wasn't aware of change orders coded.
Yeah, this is, I gave you a copy of the document.
Okay, that's great, and then we'll get to work on responding to.
Yeah, there are 8 change orders that are coded as 3 that I asked for explanations on that. I also asked that the district address Mr. Kelly's question with regard to independent legal counsel. I received a response stating that the committee shall not be entitled to legal representation by district legal counselor at district expense unless permitted by the board under board policy BP 7214. I gave that response to Mr. Kelly.
Madam Chair, may I address that issue?
Sure.
I read that board policy where it says we're not entitled to the use of the district's attorney, not that we're not entitled to the use of any attorney. The education code clearly says that we are entitled to have both technical and administrative support as needed at no expense using bond money. I cannot imagine with what we're tasked with to try and determine whether or not the bond issues and the documents that were put on the ballot enabling the money to be spent, if we're acting, the school district is acting in conformity with those, found having some knowledge of law. And I feel that we're entitled to that as technical support under the education code. And for that matter, even if the board policy were interpreted to go that far, I don't think the board can adapt a policy that contradicts state law because we're not a charter city. The charter city can do that under some limited conditions. I found the response completely unsatisfactory.
Mr. Chow?
I'm gonna preface my comments by saying that I'm not opposed to the idea of independent legal counsel. In my interpretation of the statute, when I read administrative or technical support, I don't see how that includes professional support, which would include legal counsel. Technical support, I would see in my mind, think something like a website coordinator or some other type of technical support dealing with technology or something like that. Administrative support, I would imagine, is something like a secretary who sends out the CBOC agenda, some type of administrative support. Professional support is what I was looking for inside the statute, some other indication of independent legal counsel. I couldn't find that in the statute, and I don't see how a plain meaning of technical support can be translated into independent legal counsel. I'm not saying that I'm opposed to the idea. I'm just saying that the statutory authority, in my mind, doesn't seem to be there. That's just my non-legal layman opinion.
Yes.
Well, can I make a quick suggestion for research, is that some school districts do have legal counsel, and I know for a fact that LA Unified does, and they have very friendly legal counsel you can talk to. So maybe one approach to this is simply asking that someone from the LA Unified School District CBOC, whether they, or some other CBOC that has legal counsel, whether it's something they thought they were obligated to do under the law, or whether they just did it as an extra support from the district that was required. I can pass, since Mr. Kelly is doing a lot of investigation, I'll pass along my contact info for LA Unified, so that maybe you find that useful or not.
Well, I think the direction we should take here is do a little research. Let's find out what other CBOCs have in place, if in fact they are able to request a legal opinion, independent opinion, for things that we might have questions about, then we can ask the board to have that happen. But I think in order for that request to be made to the school board, we need a little bit of information going forward. So let's look into that. Let's find out, Ms. Shelley, if you have the ability to do that, or anyone on the committee, find out what it is that we would like to do. If we are not we're not asking for a full-time legal counsel, but we may have some questions that we might want to ask, and we might want to ask those independently of the district. And can we have that kind of support? So let's find out about that, and then we can take it back to the school board and ask for that to happen. Mr. Chow.
Madam Chair, with the permission of the board, and Mr. Cowan, I think he and I can get together and contact the people. I will tell everybody present that back on Memorial Day, I had a face-to-face conversation with President Charles Ramsey over breakfast. We talked about this issue. He told me that it was his feeling that we should have an independent counsel. And I think maybe the opinion letter regarding what happened at Pinole Valley School really answers it. The question was whether or not that was okay by the law. The answer comes from the district's lawyer, who has a responsibility to protect their interests. Says, sure, it's okay. And when I first started practicing law, I was taught by a guy who used to be a Jesuit priest. And he said the first question to ask is, does it pass the smell test? And when I got the district's lawyer telling me that what the district did is okay, I had a little problem taking that as real authoritative. I could see something like that.
Well, we haven't heard that the district is opposed to this. We only hear that the board policy states that we are not allowed to have our own legal counsel, or a legal counsel that represents the district. So let's find out what the parameters are, and let's then have this dialogue directly with the